Alrighty, boys, you've been asking me about tanks, and I haven't answered that question. Well, we have an opportunity to show you some tanks. I think we have another truck on the yard that I could show you the tank. Actually, no, he left. Never mind. Well, at least you get two styles of tanks. So you can have the gravity flow tank. Some companies it's legal, some companies it isn't. Like on this tank specifically, let me show you. The tag reads right there. Where's my finger at? Oh, right here. Gravity fed. Allowed. Diesel fuel only. Do not fill. You see what I'm saying? And that's the DOT. Where's the DOT? Right there. So it's legal. I don't know how. I'm guessing it's probably a check valve in here, so it can't just all dump. Needs a little bit of flow. And there's obviously we always put a valve down there in case of an emergency. You can flip in and shut it down. But more or less, this is it. You know, you fuel it up and you're good to go. Okay, sorry for such tight clearance. That's where I had to record it, so there ain't much room I can back it up. RDS is the fuel tank. Simple, solid, straightforward, nothing fancy. That's how we do it. The way I plumb mine in is the factory one still, you can still use your factory fill. You top this off, and so this tank always tops off the factory tank. So on the gravity fed ones, even though this one's nice, it has a gauge. My camera would just zoom, it would be nice. It's full. This one has a gauge, but most of my tanks don't have a gauge. And you don't really need one, because once you start on your fuel gauge, once you start seeing your factory tank going down, you know you're running out of fuel, as long as your valve's open. And then you have a truck like this. For whatever reason, I'm not going to put any companies on blast. It's a well-known company, but they advised this guy after he told him what he needed to install this whole shebang just so he could fuel up himself. Makes zero sense. All he needs to transfer this fuel into this tank. And there's a lot more efficient and convenient, I underline convenient and efficient way to do that. But in some cases, some people don't get it, and they think this is the best way of doing it. That is a way, and that's not the only way. That's my least favorite way of doing it. Now, there's a third way that these tanks get installed, and some people like it, some people don't. It would be a similar tank like so. You'll have a pickup tube. Like in this one, you can install a pickup tube in either here or here, and this one serves as a vent. But you could literally drop a pickup tube and hook up a little pump. And I'll show you the pumps that we use. It does the trick, nothing fancy, and they're actually fairly reliable. Okay, where are these pumps? Oh, here they are. Just a nice little gasoline and diesel pump. Really simple. It's like a check valve and a filter mixture, but it works. It does the trick. So yeah, boys, hopefully that answers your fuel question. As far as me, my personally favorite one is the way this truck's set up. It's gravity fed. You know, the guy comes in, he needs to fuel up, he could just fuel up this thing and come fuel up this thing right away, and he doesn't have to worry about anything, you know. He really doesn't. Oh, this is a fancy little cap. See how they have it where you could just throw a lock through it and padlock it? But someone really cranked on it. It's a little greasy. Sorry, guys. I can't open it, but you literally unthread it. Yeah, dude, I literally can't. I guess I got to wipe it down. But more or less, if you reel on it, you'll open it, and you just put your gun in here, which is fairly convenient. So you don't have to go anywhere far. And someone really cranked on this thing. Dude, I honestly can't open it. I really got to do a two-hand deal on it. But that's something very important, guys. When you place your tanks, make sure that the fill hole is accessible. Like right here, you could come in. Man, I wish I could zoom out. You come in with your gun and just go for it. You know what I mean? Don't put it in some odd position that you're going to be spilling and nearly swearing every time you fuel up. Don't put yourself in that position. Let's see where this guy's filler neck is. I have one truck that's a pain in the neck. That guy's filler neck is over there. So I guess what he probably has in mind is he comes in on a big rig fueling station, fuels up this side, while because the other one gets clicked on too, you could go out there and fill up that one. It's a lot quicker, pretty smart. But I still, I'm a bigger fan of doing it just on one side. So if you're just a regular gas pump or a commercial gas pump, you don't have to mess with it. And especially on the commercial ones, it pumps pretty quick, you know, 30 gallons. And then this looks about a 60-gallon tank, and there you go. Anyways, boys, that's all I had to share with you. I know y'all been wondering for a long time, how do I do the tanks? That's how it is. They're not all identical. They're different. Neither of these two trucks are personally mine, but obviously we've just installed this one, and this is one of the tanks I personally run myself. But anyways, as always, may the Lord bless you. May y'all have a mighty fine day, and as far as it goes with Paul, this is his favorite setup. Gravity's fed, done deal. Anyways, ciao, bye.